Hi everyone, it's Kathleen. I'm here today to share with you the evolution of my Gosling quilt. Why do I call it evolution? Well, I have learned I am not a quilter. I know I'm not a quilter. Why? Because I don't have the patience to create fabric. Even though I absolutely love how this looks, I would die to have an actual Gosling quilt. But I do not have the patience nor the hand power to do it. So what do I have so far? I love the Gosling quilt pattern. It's designed by Sue Garrett and written by Beck Brennan of So Be Curated. So I cut out a whole bunch of hexagons. I have started sewing them all together, and I'm hand sewing. I'm not machine stitching, so there lies the problem. I also have this Scrappy duvet cover. I wish my whole duvet cover was like this. The hours and hours it takes to do these seed stitches. But I don't like green. I don't like the green and the blue. I don't like that I have wasted all my embroidery thread here to create this. This is half. I have folded it in half, thinking I could hand stitch this piece onto that side, but I can't stand looking at it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. So what am I going to do? I don't know. I thought I could cut pieces of this and put it onto my Gosling quilt, but it's not going to work. So these little patches I call a Scrappy quilt. And that's what I'm going to do with this one. So what am I going to do with this? I don't know. Do I give it away? Do I trash it? I don't know. Do I make book covers? I have no idea. But right now it's getting folded up and put to the side because whoa, sorry about that. Okay, this is what my Gosling quilt piece looks like so far. So I don't quilt, and when I say that, to me, quilting is creating a fabric piece. This is a vintage from the 1930s here in Canada, a hand-stitched quilt made by someone. They made these flowers that were in these little flower shapes. I don't have them handy here, I don't think. No, they're in my other room, so I can't show you. The fabric is made from feed sack, all of these things. And I carefully cut them off because they were all shredding. I don't really care for this shape. That's just a personal preference. If you like it, that's great. But for me, for my eye, I didn't care for that. Okay, so my base, my Gosling quilt will be morphed into a Scrappy quilt. At first I thought I could do these squares. Way too hard on my hands. Why? Because I'm sewing through new fabrics. This might be older, but new shirting. This tiny little 4-patch is feed sack. My fingers cannot stitch through this heavy fabric. So what am I going to do now? I love this Gosling quilt. I love the colors. I love everything about it. I love that I have cut up my cross stitch that I have done years ago. I cut up my embroidery I have done years ago. I have added embroidery to some squares. So I love that. And this might be a vintage little piece here. So what I'm planning to do, I painstakingly, and I mean painstakingly, stitched all this newish fabric onto this old quilt. This old quilt is good on this side, and it's cotton, and it's so soft. This, and you will be seeing stitches like this underneath. So what I'm planning to do, I'm going to make I've done this. This is my tribute to the Gosling Quilt, which I love so much. Yes, it's going to be random. Yes, it's going to be scrappy. Look at this little strip. I had a strip that I thought, well, maybe I can just sew strips on. That was too hard on my hands. So I'm going to do what I've done in that, in this scrappy, but this is easier. Now, where the heck is it? I don't know. I lost it. See, there's so few areas that actually have it. Oh, well, love this. Okay, I started to put some embroidery on there. But I like little things and stuff layered on top and then stitched on. So that's what I'm going to do with this. So what do I have left? I have some of these. This is how I started my pieces according to the instructions in this handwritten booklet here. And well, I love these little things, so I'm just going to add it to it. I'm going to show you what how I'm going to add. This is what I have left over. I made that long strip, like what I did at the front. I'm going to use what I have. I'm using up what I have because our hands only have so much lifespan before they don't work. Mine are starting to not work. So I want to finish what I like so I can actually finish something before my hands don't work anymore. So I like these hexagons. So what am I going to do? Let's just arbitrarily place them. I'm going to keep this top row. Hi, Jacques. Hello, Jackie. Okay, I'm going to place that top, and I'm going to start by putting down, and I am not going to be folding under and stitching that on. Stitching through 2 or 4 layers of this new shirt fabric from Value Village is so painful on my hands. I'm just going to top stitch it somehow. I don't know how the somehow is, but okay, I seem to have, okay, I'm going to say those 2 are similar. These 3 are similar. Oh, this is an oddball. Why is he here? Similar, 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 similar. So I'm going to take 2s. I love this the best. So let's start with this. And I've positioned my quilt where I sit here and I'm looking this way. So for me, it's right side up because I'm going to be looking at my quilt. I spend most of my days in bed because I have chronic deteriorating back issues, and I'm not going to bore you with that. So that's what I mean. When you can't do stuff, you can't do stuff. Doesn't matter whether you think how old you are or not. I'm only 63. I thought I would live till 100, but we'll see. We will see. So I like this one here. I'm going to go on the other side. I'm just going to throw it, and then I'll walk over there. So here we are. So I'm just going to place them down. And maybe this pink one. And that pink one, I'm just throwing it. I'll have to go fix it. So I'm going to be putting these down and hand stitching them over top and creating this as my scrappy quilt because I gave up on the other one because you know why I gave up? It's because the back of my quilt, the back of my duvet cover, I put flannel and to the cotton fabric, and then I was just doing the running stitch, running every 1/4 of an inch. Oh my God, bored me to death. Absolutely bored me to death. I had to stop. If you can only do so many things, it's not going for me, it's not going to be the running stitch for a month and a half or 2 months. I'm just not doing it. So, but if you like the running stitch, go ahead. I'm just telling you what I am going to do. Hey, I wonder if, let's see. Okay, I don't like the diamond patterns. I'm going to be laying over top and laying over top. I'll show you in a sec. Oh, here's a nice one. That's probably the other half of that one. So let's move it over here. Pointy. Oh, I'm going to go down like this. Okay, anyway, it's going to go like this. And I'm going to keep filling up as I go this. And then I have a couple of these. So if I'm looking, I have bigger. This is a small. Maybe I can put this in here. You see how I have a space? I got a space, little one here. And this is a bigger one. Maybe I don't want a bigger one. Maybe I just want to have this. So I'm just going to be laying these down and stitching on them. Then I am going to take my lovely basket of stuff, and I've got lots of beautiful pieces. So a lot of these things here, like, because this is busy, color busy, I'm going to just take some not color busy pieces. And I showed you this little sleeve before, so I'm going to cut this up or tear this up in little pieces. And this is a collar piece. So I'm just going to take things from here, pieces from here, and bigger bits. I have more of this I'm going to throw in my quilt, because look at how nice that looks. And I'm just going to lay it on top. So, and then stitch it. So I'm going to hand stitch this. I'm going to invisible stitch that on. And invisible stitch this on. Okay, now I'm thinking, because I have an outline that's all finished, wherever it's finished with this stitch here, I am going to go, maybe I'll have to turn it this way, and go underneath and underneath. Okay, and lay that down. So that it'll be finished and finished. Now, whatever piece I add on, I was trying to find a small piece, I can add, well, I'm going to say over here, I'm going to add some more on here. I can add a little bit here. And as I layer the stitches back and forth, it'll become my Scrappy quilt. Whether I do little bits of crocheted, and when it's stitched all the way around, or just back and forth, but it's all going to be done by hand, and layers upon layers, or maybe something like this might look good. So layers upon layers, and other little pieces like this that you just add in and stitch on. So I'm just layering one on top. I'm working from the center out, just layering. So that's going to be the process. And I've got to go, I know I have more of this. Love this piece. Look at the colors. It just blends in so beautifully here. Love that. So I'm going to cut this up. Do I want to cut that up? Maybe. I'll cut it in half. That way I'll have a piece there, and then I'll have a piece on the other side. So that's how I make a Scrappy quilt. And that's my Gosling quilt is going to morph into a Gosling Scrappy quilt. So that's what it's like at the moment. So off I go, and that's a big project that will take me right through the winter to do. So I hope you create and stitch yourselves. If you have any questions about this quilt, feel free to ask. If not, it's just a matter of experimenting. Thank you everyone for watching. Bye for now.